Hey guys, Preston, welcome back to another video. Today is the Steelers vs. Ravens preview, the biggest game of the year for this Steelers team so far. Don't have any Steelers jerseys on right now, but I'm rocking the Pens 2016 Stanley Cup shirt. Yeah, something Pittsburgh, right? It's got to count. But yeah, like I said, this is our biggest matchup of the year by far. We're still getting doubted a little bit, it seems. I mean, ESPN's FPI, I'm not sure why, gives us only a 32% chance to win this game. It seems a little interesting. I think it should at least be closer to 50-50, 45, something like that. But hey, who knows? Obviously, this will be a tough matchup. There is no denying it. Currently on the injury report, unfortunately, we have a lot of guys questionable. Availability will be huge for this game, especially with some of the names I'm reading right here. Big Al is questionable, which obviously we can't have that. That'd be a huge blow to our offensive line. I'm not even sure what they'd do to rearrange there. I guess if that did happen and he wasn't ready to go, to me it'd make the most sense you kick Fowler back out to tackle. I guess you'd have him play left tackle for the first time, which is fun. We don't really have a true backup left tackle. It'd have to be moving him to left tackle and plugging our exceptional rookie Kevin Dotson into left guard. So I don't think it'd be the end of the world, actually. I think we could handle it, but obviously it wouldn't be ideal, so hopefully he's good to go. Missing Ebron would be huge. The tight end matchups might be more important than ever, considering the fact that the Ravens have pretty solid corners. I think their slot corner is probably going to miss, though. They've had some injuries there, which means that middle of the field matchups would be big for us. And Ebron and Juju, who's also questionable, will be huge. But from what I've been hearing, it seems like most of these guys will be ready to play by then. Juju, Hilton, Deontay, Ebron, and Villanueva were all on this injury report, all listed as questionable. I think the only confirmed guys who won't be playing are obviously Zach Banner still, Devin Bush still. We've had 2 season-ended injuries already because fantastic, right? I guess the injury bug is still with us. It's still up in the air, I guess, if Hilton's good to go. I believe, though, in the good news, it looks like Derek Watt will be back for this game, which maybe will give us a boost to this run game that's been pretty successful, but obviously the Ravens have a stout defense just like us, so any help we can get would be useful. Injury side for the Ravens, these would all be huge for us if they were out, but like I said, I don't know how full in detail it is with these guys either. Humphrey, Smith, the corners are both listed as questionable, along with running back Mark Ingram. Obviously, if Ingram's out, it means one less guy for us to try to deal with their rushing rotation. They have 4 guys who run the ball if you count their running back quarterback, Lamar Jackson, with Ingram, rookie J.K. Dobbins, and Gus Edwards. So if you cut one out, obviously it's less guys you have to worry about. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm kind of more going to preview if we're fully healthy, which is obviously, I think that's what we should do to begin with. Looking at some team stats here, their defense is allowing slightly less points per game. We're giving up, if you round up, it's 20, but it's at 19.7 compared to their 17.3, so at 2 to 3 more points per game that we are giving up. But obviously our defense is still stout. It's hard to deny that. We actually allow less yards per game than they do, with 315 compared to their 368. And individually, we allow less passing yards and rush yards. It's something to keep track of. I did not know this till just now. The Ravens are, while their run defense is solid, like I said, they're still allowing over 100 yards per game. And usually if Pittsburgh can have a 100-yard rusher, the records show that we pretty much win almost all of those matchups. So hopefully look for us to try to get that run game going early and often. Derek Watt being back should help, like I said. We're a pretty solid run team this year, and if we can take advantage of that kind of hole in that defense where they give up over 100, it'd be nice for us. Obviously, it's not much of a hole. That defense is still better than most, even with the run numbers they have. So that's what we need to take advantage of. Our rush defense has been stellar, though. This is yet again another matchup of one of the top running offenses coming against one of our top running defense. We've been very successful shutting down running backs recently. I mean, we held Derrick Henry to under 100 yards. The most rushing yards we gave up this whole year was against the Eagles with Miles Sanders, which was rather unfortunate because he had 80 yards all game and he gained 75 of them on one play. The other carries, he gained 5 yards total, which was like 19 carries. So no big plays. we gotta nip that in the bud. This has happened too much now. It's been like 3 games in a row. The Eagles, Miles Sanders run. The Titans, A.J. Brown middle pass that should have been nipped in the bud way before he got that far. We cannot give those up if we want to win a game like this. It's unacceptable. Big plays kill defenses, especially teams with defenses as talented as ours. So they really got to nip that in that butt this game. We can't afford a lot of mistakes. I don't think we'll overlook this game at all now, especially, I don't think we would have regardless, but especially with the way they played in that second half against the Titans, I would hope this team comes out more motivated than ever, because that was the worst half of football they've played this year. And, you know, it's just not, it's kind of not how you wanted to be heading into this game. Obviously, this was supposed to be our bye week. The Titans getting COVID and being reckless kind of ruined that for us, which is rather unfortunate. That's slightly, I'd say that's an advantage for the Titans right now, is they get to come off a bye week. They had a whole extra week to prepare for us, which is crap. It's bull crap, okay? But hey, adversity builds character, right? So we always say, Tomlin said the standard's the standard. It's what it is. We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta get the win. I will say, it's technically not life or death there, guys. Obviously, I'm gonna be pissed. I hate losing the rivals if we lose, you know. I'm not saying we're losing, so chill. You'll see in my prediction. But I'm saying if we do, I just want to assure everyone now, we'll still be a 6-1 team, and we'll still be in the playoff hunt. So, you know. But obviously, it's important. At the very least, we got to split this matchup. We can't lose both like last year. This is the Ravens' home game. It'll be in Baltimore, which obviously makes it a little harder. But with the limited fans, home field advantage isn't as huge as it once was. But I expect a slugfest like always. We get Big Ben back, which is huge. I will say the stat line last time the Steelers got to play Lamar Jackson was not fantastic. In fact, he threw for like less than 200 yards and had 3 interceptions that game. Sacked like 4 or 5 times. That's obviously something we want to do again. And if we could take him to overtime with Duck Hodges, I think we can do something. We can make some moves this game too. It's important to note, I guess we should mention the fact that they did add Yannick Ngakoue to their defensive line, which was already relatively solid. Now it's even better. We'll see. I think he should be able to play by now, especially since he got signed last week or something. But we'll see how quickly he adjusts to their system and what he does. From what I heard, he wasn't, you know, exactly setting the world on fire in Minnesota, but obviously that whole team's been kind of a mess. So he's good, though. I mean, this is a battle of top defenses and relatively solid offenses. This Ravens offense is kind of slacking compared to what probably some people thought they could have been this year. The Steelers are averaging slightly more points at 30.5 to the Ravens 29.8. Their passing game is obviously still relatively limited. The Steelers pass for 242 yards per game compared to the Ravens 193, and the Ravens run for more than us, which isn't surprising. Like I said, they have 4 guys who run the ball consistently with 164. That'll be a problem more this game than usual, as they have a true rotation going on. You know, Steelers so far have only really had to focus on one guy to shut down, whether it be Saquon or Henry, etc. This time, you know, we got to shut down 3 or 4 guys running the ball. I think we did it relatively effectively that game, so hopefully, you know, our DC Keith Butler isn't a moron and he remembers kind of the stuff he did to effectively shut him down. You know, spying on the quarterback's important. And not having Devin Bush probably hurts with that spy role. We'll see who they give that to, whether it be Vince or Spillane, or if they move Edmonds in to be or even Hilton. We'll see what happens, but I do think a spy is kind of important for a game like this. I'm not real scared of their passing offense. I think that's kind of been their worst thing so far this year. There's no denying it. They haven't been fantastic with that passing game. A lot of kind of short passes, throws like that, and the fact is their wide receiving core is not anything to be truly astonished with. I mean, the fact they signed Des Bryant to their practice squad kind of shows what they think of the receiving core. They're not real astounded with it, to say the least. Hollywood Brown's been decent for him. Obviously, he's a speed vet. Got 376 yards on the year so far, so effectively shutting him down will be huge for us. There's 2 guys we need to try to take out of the game. It's him and their tight ends, mainly Mark Andrews. I will say Edmonds has done a pretty good job this year. He's looked better than he has every other year, obviously. Still not getting picks, unfortunately. But he's been tasked with covering these tight ends this year, and he's done a really good job, which means so far, you know, knock on wood, whenever we don't put linebackers on tight ends, which has always killed us. I swear this defense has been murdered by tight ends for years now. But hey, when Edmonds on him, we actually can shut him down. So just do not put Vince Williams on Mark Andrews. Please, Keith Butler, don't put any of our linebackers on Mark Andrews. Thank you. In advance, please don't. Keep Edmonds on him. So there's some matchup stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what we do. So like I said, without Devin Bush, we're going to have to find someone to be a spy. And we're going to have to figure out who covers what and what not. But I have faith our defense can get it done. I think both teams will be super motivated this game, like always. But I think Pittsburgh's hungrier to win this game. I mean, obviously we didn't get a single win against the Ravens last year, and the Ravens are kind of annoyingly cocky the last couple of years, especially last year. They went, like 14-2. We're all bragging and cocky until the Titans spanked them in the playoffs, which was beautiful to see. Living through other teams, I don't care, man. If we miss the playoffs this year, we got real issues. I don't know. We'd have to see the stats. I don't think there's ever been a team that started. I mean, imagine starting 6-0 and missing the playoffs would be horrendous. But hey, not what we're here for. Baltimore is a 3.5-point favorite on the spread, which seems weird to me. Plus, I mean, minus 208 on the money line. They're the favorites this game. It's up to us to prove them wrong. I kind of like being underdogs. The underdog mentality is always a great thing to have. And even at 6-0, we're still underdogs. So let's get it done. Big Ben has statistically been out playing Lamar Jackson this year. The former MVP hasn't really been lighting up the charts. You haven't even seen him. ESPN's not running their clips and crap on him, so that his MVP, train has been derailed. There's no back-to-back MVP coming for Lamar so far. I mean, obviously things can change, but he's got 1,135 passing yards so far, the 10 touchdowns and 2 picks. So he's not turning the ball over a lot, which is obviously that's a good thing for him. You want to game manage the best you can. While Big Ben is 1,446 yards, 13 touchdowns and 4 picks. I think that's right. I would hope ESPN has the Titans game in by now, but if that's the case, that means he only got 1 pick until the Titans game where he threw 3. So obviously he can't do that. I mean, hopefully, like I told you last time, the ball luck was not in our favor. A lot of these tips that are supposed to just go to the floor were going right in the Titans' hands. So hopefully we don't get the ball batted that much this game, and it doesn't fall right into the enemy. I will say the biggest thing we need to watch out for is, it's happened last time too when we could have beat them, the fumbles. We cannot fumble this game. Our players have an issue of fumbling. They have for years now. Juju actually holds onto the ball pretty well, except in back-breaking moments. So he's had the 2 fumbles his whole career, and they both happen to be back-breaking moments. Either way, that's something they all have to be looking out for. I hope this coaching staff is really emphasizing on holding onto that ball, because that defense knows how to force fumbles. They've been doing it all year. Obviously, Marlon Humphrey's kind of like the new Charles Tillman with that peanut punch. He's getting the ball loose a lot, and Deontay Johnson has way bigger fumbling issues than Juju. But regardless, we need all of our guys to hold on to the ball. Connor fumbled last week. He cannot do that this game. Turnovers will be very costly in a matchup as even as this. Overall, if we're getting into our X factors here, who I think will need to play the best for each team, I don't like going quarterbacks, but this game kind of seems like it is the battle of the quarterbacks. So I'm going to have to go for both quarterbacks in the X factors this game. Big Ben has to play his game. He can't turn the ball over. So don't get all crazy gunslinger. Don't throw 3 picks that will kill us. Even 1 pick would be rough. So hopefully, limit the turnovers, which he did for the most part. He's done all year, minus last game. We should not be throwing the ball like 46 times like we did last week, which was just a ridiculous amount of throws, especially since we had to lead the whole time. I don't want to get into our game planning. It drives me crazy sometimes. But I do think we should emphasize the run. So obviously James Conner is an important guy to look at too. If we can get the run game going, and it means Big Ben doesn't have to throw 40 balls, that'd be huge for us. So just game manage. I know quarterbacks don't like hearing that, but Big Ben's been doing that relatively successfully all year. He can still make plays, and with a game this close, we might need some Big Ben magic at some point. Maybe a comeback drive, etc. There's a lot of crazy moments happening in these Steelers-Raven games. But let's just hope we can get the job done. Lamar-wise, he has to play better than he did the last time he played the Steelers. Obviously, like I mentioned to you last time he played the Steelers, because he didn't play our final week, they put in RG3. They rested their starters. For the Ravens' sake, he can't turn the ball over 3 times like he did. He just has to be better. He can't get smothered by the Steelers' defense. He has to help his team out offensively. Obviously, I hope the other way. I hope our defense can repeat and do a really good job at shutting Lamar down. Defensively for both teams, that's more of an interesting one. Humphrey, if he plays or not, is going to be my X factor, because if he's out, that's huge for us, obviously. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I leaned back. Forgot about the camera. That'd be huge for us because that's something we could take advantage of. And if he's in, he makes plays on that ball. He can get interceptions, but he can knock that ball loose, and that has killed us in the past. It killed us our last game, our first game against the Ravens last year, in which we were driving in overtime. That Juju fumble was a punch out by Humphrey. So Humphrey's my X factor for the Ravens. My X factor for the Steelers on defense. That's a really tough one. I'm gonna go Vince Williams, I guess, because he's been one of our most consistent run stoppers on our team, if not one of the top ones in the league. Him and TJ Watt are 1 and 2 in tackles for loss in the nation, in the NFL. So he's going to play a really vital role in shutting down this Ravens run game with all the guys they have who can carry that rock and move the ball, shutting down that run game and forcing Lamar to throw, which he is not excellent at. I don't care if you call me a hater all you want. It's not like he's put up astounding pass numbers in his career. It is key in this game. We need to shut down that run game. Time of possession will play a huge factor in this game, just like last week, so hopefully we can get that done as well. So those are my X factors, guys. Big Ben and Vince Williams for the Steelers, Lamar Jackson and Marlon Humphrey for the Ravens. Let me know who your X factors are, any other guys you think could make a huge impact in this game, etc. Tough matchup, guys. Obviously, I'm going to pick the Steelers. I don't know. I might pick the Steelers every week, but this is going to be way closer than other picks I have made in the past. This seems like a typical Steelers-Ravens kind of field goal win kind of game. So I'm going to give it to the Steelers winning. I think it will be low scoring. I don't know how low scoring. I'm going to go 24-21. It's going to be an interesting game to say the least. I think we can pull it off, though. This team is more than capable of winning, and I hope they do. I really hope they do. I think they can get it done. They should get it done. They need to get it done. That's what the great teams do. This game has a lot on the line because it's crazy how good our division is and the way the NFL's set up with, division winners being seeds 1 through 4 automatically. This game literally decides if we're the 1 seed or the 5 seed. So obviously there's still a lot of football left, but getting a game advantage, 2 games actually, because they'd be 5-2, would be 7-0 on the Ravens at this point in the season would be huge for us. Anytime you can get a little bit of cushion, and obviously every AFC North matchup is vital in terms of your standing in the division. So let's get this done. Let's hope we can do what we do. Shut down the run game, force Lamar to make mistakes, come out with a win, 24-21. So what I'm hoping for, this will probably be the most stressful game of the year. Let me know what you guys think about this matchup. Obviously, this is one Steelers fans and Ravens fans probably have had their eyes on for a while now. These are always what Tomlin would say 5-star matchups, great games. We're actually even in the series 23-23 from what I've seen. Obviously, we kind of handed the Ravens 2 of them last year because we were playing Duck Hodges at quarterback, but whatever. Take your 2 free wins, Ravens. All right. Now, I sound salty, but of course I am. I always am. But no, new year, new me, right? New year, new Steelers. 6-0, baby. I don't know what we were last year through 6 games, but it definitely wasn't 6-0. It was probably 2-4 or 3-3. I know we started the season 0-3, so yeah, it was at least 3-3. So a lot better than last year so far. Great start from our boys. Hopefully we can come out with a win. Let me know what you guys think, your score predictions, etc. Anything you want to argue with me about or agree with me on, feel free to comment below. I'd love to discuss with you guys. Over here is the playlist for all my Steelers previews. Click those ones to see what's up with the, how we're doing. There's also, you can find a playlist later on. You can find my playlist of Steelers post games too if you want to see what I thought about last week's game and the other games that have happened. Down here is where you can click to subscribe. It really mean a lot. I'm sitting at, I believe, 132 subscribers right now. I'd love to somehow hit 140 by the end of the year. That'd mean a lot to me. So if you enjoy the content, you love the Steelers or even Notre Dame, I make Notre Dame videos, sports in general, please subscribe by clicking this button. And over here is just a random video of mine that YouTube has decided to recommend for you if you wish to check that out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This is K-May Preston signing out. Go Steelers.